The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform.
Aloha! On the next episode of Polymer Play with me, Barbara Hanson, we're going to learn how to make a coffee bean cane and make it into earrings. So stay tuned. Aloha! Aloha! Welcome to this episode of Polymer Play with me, Barbara Hanson. I'm super excited today because as we go into the coffee season, I wanted to try something different, and I made a cane of a coffee bean going all the way through. So I'm going to teach you how to do it. Are you ready? Let's dive in. I have all my clay ready here. I've got these tones, the coffee bean tones going on, and I've only done this once, so you're going to have to bear with me in my thought process as we go through it. I'm going to start with the squiggle part of the bean that I did. Although with this one I feel like it's a little too wide, so I'm going to try it a little narrower. You're actually going to see me concentrating a little harder on this one. Let's see here. So I'm going to start with the center. I like the wiggle. And I'm thinking, I did this one a little bit thinner, which I think I like. And I'm going to taper the ends because I'm going to put black on either side. And then pinch it a little bit. Let's see here. So whichever piece you do first is going to dictate the size of your cane. So if you start with it and you think of that being the center, so the thing's going to be this big, reconsider if that's really what you want. And I think that this might be a little bit big. So I'm going to cut it down a hair. Tapering. Okay. I'm going to set that aside. Okay, I'm going to work with this. I want to put black on either side of it. So I'm going to clean the edge. And I'm going to have this overlapping the black on either side. The gold is always really kind of smushy. So you have to be willing to touch it the least amount that you possibly can because it's going to move around quite a bit on you. Okay, keep my colors separated. Okay, we've got one side. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over. Oops, that's not quite straight. Straighten that out. Come in on this side. Let's see, line it up. Give it a slice. I love coffee season. It looks so pretty when everything's in bloom. Okay, we're going to pinch these ends. Now, if you notice, when you're looking at the coffee bean, it's not a straight shot line like that. It's got some curvature in it. It's more like that. So in order to achieve that, I'm going to need to fill in the spaces on either side here and here before I start packing the bean part around it. So always in a transition, you want to go sheet to sheet before you start adding in little pieces so that you don't get indentations going in. So I have made this sheet, but see how I have this indentation right here? If I put that onto this, there would be a slight change. So I'm not worried about that because I can put that into gold and it's fine. It'll make more sense here in a second. So I'm going to put a sheet of this gold. Whoop. And now I'm leaving these a little overlapped because I'm going to go back and trim it later. Okay, so I have that. So before I put my big piece on, if I'm going to give this a slight curve, see what I need to do is I need to fill in this area right here. So let's take this scrap Well, it's not scrap, but let's take this color and give it a squeeze. Remember that this clay is stiff. Sometimes you have to hold it in your hand to give it a little love, get it to warm up. I love this color. It's so pretty how the little mica flecks in there give it a cool sheen. Okay, so I'm going to cut my ends. See, I'm not worried about any of these little lines in there because they're going to go against the same color. So we'll cut it. Let's see. Cut it. The metallic clays seem to be a little bit stickier. So if you put it somewhere and you don't want it there, you need to remove it quickly. Okay, I'm going to taper my edge. And then taper the edge on this side. And okay, let's see what we have here. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is kind of an organic flowing thing. Okay, so if we're going to come in like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to cut this piece off. And I'm going to flatten it out a little bit more. Yay! If you've never been up to Holualoa, we grow great coffee up here. I can't remember the number of farms we have, but it's amazing. There's so many little gentleman farms going up the slopes. Lots of happy farmers up here. And artists. Okay. Ooh, I like how that looks. It's sticky. Now remember, I told you I'm leaving excess on either side because I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut that off. This is a little different than canes we've done before. Okay, so with this, you can kind of see how the bean is coming. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this part yet. We're going to come back to it. So what do we do next on this side? We're going into this color. So we're going to do the bronze because bronze to bronze. This is nice and smooth. Both sides are smooth. So I'm going to give myself a straight edge. And a straight edge. And then go back, well, somewhat straight. And then go back and put this on here. And let's see here. It's going to be... All right. Cut this side. Right, let's see here. It's not looking like a bean yet. Hang in there. All good things take time. Okay, we're going to put this on this side. Okay, got this going on. So now we're going to fill in like we did on this one. Now I figured I liked on the darker side, I did a two-tone. So when I made the big thick piece, I didn't make it quite as wide because I wanted to leave room for this other one. And with this color, I actually used the gold, the bronze, and the black, and I blended them in the dough sheeter. Okay, so again, we're going to cut the side, figure out how long it needs to be. Ooh, this is sticky, sticky, sticky clay. What's our motto? The clay doesn't control you. You control your clay. That's a Barbara-ism. Oh, wait till you see the shoes I have on. They match my coffee beans. They're very cool. Gotta have fun shoes. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't want to leave this on the table because it'll stick to something else. There we go. Okay, we're going to come back in here. Ooh. Yeah, that is super sticky. Always flip your roll. See what happens? We don't want that to happen. We want it to go all the way across both sides. Alrighty. This is really a squishy roll. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, now we're going to come in with the thicker piece. Let's see here. Yeah, so normally I hand built my coffee beans for years, which I could show you that too. But this year I thought, oh, coffee festival's coming up. I want to do something different. Maybe I could make a coffee bean cane. Lo and behold, the birth of a new cane. Okay, now at this point, I don't like how out of hand everything else is, so I'm going to go through and kind of clean it up so you can see what's going on here. Okay, now every time you make a cut, you want to flip your cane over, because if you cut something incorrectly, you can put it back on and change it. I know that I'm going to want this eventually here, going across right there, so I can tell that this is still too wide. And I know that, let's see what's going on. And then this is going to be too wide. Flip it. Okay, I'm going to come to this side, kind of clean this side up a little. It's starting to look a little more beanish. I don't know if that's a word. Okay, yeah, okay, it's a little more round there. What's amazing about the clay is when you pull it down, this had all those little pieces in there too, but it all becomes one. It's amazing. One of the beauties of the polymer. Okay, now on this side, we've got an issue. See this right here? This is an issue. How to fix that. I love the teaching moments. They're perfect. I'm going to actually cut this chunk off, if I can. And I'm going to take this piece, because I know it's the same thickness. Give myself a nice clean edge at the bottom. I hope you can see this. I'm going to come in here. And since it's so sticky, this is going to work out perfectly. I'm going to put that in there. Give this a cut this way. Although your mom said never cut towards your fingers. So you got to cut, push down. Okay, there we go. Okay, situation resolved for that. So we'll trim this side up a little so we can kind of see what we've got going on with our bean. Now this is also going to be a little different because when we go to take it down, ooh, push that. Oh, I don't like that. Ah! Okay, here we go. Not to worry. We're gonna, let's see, maybe this. I see this little V here. I'm just going to cut this. It's funny, this little thing right here could totally change it later on. I don't want to, or not. Okay. That's the beauty of the clay. Okay, this needs to be, I don't want this brown wrapping over the black, because the black, I'm going to put black around the edge, and I want them to have a nice clean transition there. So we'll get that off. See how that goes? Okay, take this little part off. Yeah, if you've never been to the coffee festival up here, or actually the whole island has a huge event that goes on, I don't know, like almost 2 weeks, and every day they have things at different places supporting all the local coffee growers. And we're fortunate enough to have it up here in Hulualoa. It'll be November 9th this year. We'll have coffee vendors up and down the street, or farmers. You get to go taste samples and ask questions. Needless to say, people are walking pretty fast by the end of the day because they've had a lot of coffee. Okay, we're almost there. And then I'm going to trim a little more before I put that other dark color around. Ooh, I hope that's long enough. Okay. Okay, I'm still not liking this. See how this is not super even right here. Okay, I'm trying to keep my colors separated. Let's see how that is. The gold is higher. I don't want that gold higher. It's funny. It's these little tiny things that make a difference when you pull it down. Oh, flip it over. Okay, that's better. Now we got to fix the brown side. Sometimes it's good to get right over the top of your roll. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Oh, we're getting close to our bean. So exciting. All right. Now, with this one, good. So believe it or not, because I put black in there, it's less squishy. All right, I want to make it a little bit bigger here. Give it a tug. All right. That's a big bean. Now this one's going to be a little different to pull down because I'm going to try and pull it down as an oval, which I don't even know. I can't remember the last time I did it. I'll say that's how infrequent it is. Okay, now since I can tell that this doesn't fit the whole length of it, I'm not really worried. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and taper each end and then just work with what it is. Okay. So take that. Oh, look, you can see all the different colors in there. Isn't that cool? All right. And let's see. Put that about there. Okay. All right. Ooh, yum, that looks good. I know when I was doing this, I was thinking I should do a cacao pod. Maybe we'll do that on one of the next episodes. I think that'd be really cool. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to pull this a little more. Get it just the way I want it. And this one, taper a little bit more. Lo and behold, I think we've got ourselves a coffee bean. But we're not there yet. Okay, I'm going to trim these corners a hair. Okay, and this side too. And let's see. Oh, that's how they do the mokugame with the metals. That's cool. All right. Now, let's see. We're going to check both of our edges and see if we're happy. Okay, I'm not really worried about this black because black's going around the whole cane right there. That's not going to show up. This one. Huh. You know what? I think I want a little more. See what's happening right here? Maybe I'm being too particular. It's been said. Oh, that's funny. Okay. All right, I think we're ready for black. So, let's take this sheet. I like to keep my space somewhat tidy. Oh, that is sticky, sticky. Okay. This goes all the way around. If not, it'll be a teaching moment. All right, here we go. Yeah, normally when I'm building canes, I'm kind of stopping and starting and using my dough sheeter, but that's hard to do when I'm doing this. Let's see. So the nice thing is I know that I have this excess over here if I need it to go around if I fall short. Okay, so this has some brown smear in it. That side doesn't. So I'm going to put the smear on the smear. The smear on the smear. And I typically start when I wrap from just a random easy to get to area versus an area that looks like it might make a conflict later on. So I'm going to start just fresh right there. I want to make sure that it's all the way down at the table line. And I'm going to go around. Oh, we're going to make it, guys. Woohoo! Must be the lucky shoe day. Okay, then we'll go down here. Okay. Almost. I cut it a little funky. So let's trim that one up. Let's see if that, oh, beautiful. Okay, these just squeeze together perfectly. Now the reason you don't want an overlap is then you'll have a thicker piece of black on one side. There's no reason for that. Okay, so now what we have to do is cut off the excess. Here we go. You can use the cane as your guide as you go around. Whoops, make sure it's so soft. It's easy to catch on that other stuff. Which usually it's not this soft. This is a softie. Now the problem with the softness, that's awesome. I'm stoked. The problem with the softness is when you go to pull it down, it's going to be more wobbly-ish. You guys know I love Kona clay. That's what I use. And you can do it with any of the polymers, but if you do it with Sculpey, it's super soft. So sometimes what oh, problem. Okay. Sometimes I just want a little strip on there. I mean, it might not be a problem, but in the long run, I don't want to waste, like you could lose a chunk of your cane because of that. So we'll just roll this on top right there. But back to what I was saying about Sculpey is you'll make something great, but then when you pull it down, you can't even tell what it was because it gets all mushed out. All right. Okay. There we go. It's a polymer clay band-aid. I'm just kidding. That's funny. I never said that. Okay. Now here we go with our monster coffee bean. This is way bigger than the prototype I tried. This is going to be challenging to take down. In fact, is it okay? I'm going to need to stand up actually to get this thing going. Give it like a... So what I'm trying to do here is twofold. One is I'm trying to compact it, but I'm also trying to elongate it at the same time. I'm trying to get rid of the air bubbles that I have in there. Now when you see the little bubbles like that, you can pop them out. That one just came out. Ooh, so sticky. But you can see how already it's gotten longer from that. It needs to sit. It's very soft. But it's coming along beautifully. Coffee bean! Yay! I know. I love my triple coffee bean earring. I'm going to show you how to make those too. Okay. Okay, we're going to let this baby sit for a little bit. I'm happy with it. I can already kind of tell that this is a little bit thinner, which is what I was trying to go for, because I thought that this one was a little wide. But, you know, typically when I'm doing a new roll, the first time, kind of good, but I know what I want to change. Second time, I usually change it too much, and the third time I nail it. So that's my story. Okay, so now let me show you what you can do with the coffee beans. Don't grind them. Don't drink them. Just kidding. Okay, if you want to make beads, once you get it down, Now the ovals are a little trickier to pierce the holes because it's an oval, not a circle. So the best thing to do is to pull the cane down to the size that you're going to want it and then let it sit overnight, which is what I already did. So we're good to go here. Make sure you have a clean end. Okay. And remember, when you're poking your hole in your bean, you want your pattern to show. I mean, it sounds silly, but so you don't want to poke your bead this way. You want to poke it through the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a few. And when people ask me how thick to make my bead, well, a couple factors. If you're just using a beading thread or something, if you're going to put it on beads like this, you just need a thin hole. You don't need a super thick slice. If you're going to put it on something like a thick cord, then you're going to need more room for a hole. Okay, when you're making your bead, remember that you're going to keep your bead on the table. You're going to go right above it and go straight down. Pick up the bead. Now push it in. Now you can go back and form it just the way that you want it formed, because it's not going to change. Remember, you put it in the oven, it's going to come out just as you put it in, unless you cook it too long. Don't cook it too long. With this clay, I do 13 minutes at 315. So you're going to go through and poke your beads like this. And that's what I did when I strung them on this necklace, just to give you kind of an idea of one thing you can do. The other thing you could do with these beads is you can put them on little ear pins or head pins for earrings. And with this one, I used wood and a little crystal. Now check out this bracelet. I did something different with this one. See how there's two strands going through? So what I did was I made a bigger bead and I did 2 holes this way. But I want to show you how I did this because I think that this is really cool. So I wanted to make a bean pendant. It kind of reminds me of like a coffee bean heliconia or something. Anyhow, so I'm going to make it a tiny bit smaller and go through. Now, when I'm cutting for this, it's about a dime's width or thickness. Okay, so I'm going to cut some beans. What do I do here? 4, 9. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm looking forward to doing a clock with these things. I have so many ideas. Okay, we're going to go down. How did I do that? I don't know. I liked it though. Maybe I started at the bottom, worked my way up. 1, 2, 3. I mean, this would be a cute earring too. You could even go back and put a little bit of like take the fronds that we've made before. You could even add a few leaves in there. Possibilities are endless. I can't wait to see what you guys make. It's always fun. Okay, so once I have something like this, it's a little different, but you get the gist of it. I want to go back and kind of press it together, make sure it's doing its thing. Oh, that would be a super cool earring, wouldn't it? Oh, I want some. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So I'm super excited to get to use this coffee bean because there's so many things I haven't done with it yet. But for starters, now you know how to build the bean, how to pull it down. You can cut it into beads, make it into a pendant, use it on a bracelet, do it in earrings. You can put it on all sorts of artwork. So I just look forward to seeing what you can do when you make your coffee beans. Have an awesome day. Aloha.